From whichever point you choose to make assessment of the Buhari administration, one will be heralded by the return of security in Nigeria. For a government that inherited a security apparatus with a plummeted and battered image, changing the course to regain the lost integrity was a definite Herculean task. Indeed, the change has come. The hitherto sight and smell of death and destruction in troubled areas of the northeast are fading away.
2 years in office means a lot, and it has shown that our leader, the president, has fulfilled most of his promises in terms of security.
Thanks to the highly committed political administration of the changed government, which brought in new, determined and resilient military hierarchy.
Internal security challenges in virtually all the geopolitical zones in the country, which the Armed Forces of Nigeria is currently addressing. Across the country, we have Operation Awase in the southwest, that's the Lagos axis. We have Operation Sharandaji in the northwest, which is addressing probably cattle rustling and all the criminalities in that area. We have Operation Safe Haven, which is in Jos areas, north central. We have Operation Delta Safe in the south, which of course dealing with the militancy, pipeline vandalism, and other criminalities, including cultism in that area. And then we have Operation Lafia Dole in the northeast, addressing terrorism and insurgency. We also have some deployment in Lokoja axis, of course, to address also the criminalities in that area. And of course, recently we are deployed in southern Kaduna to also deal with those issues in these areas. These operations and deployment have to a large extent brought a relative peace across the nation. As we speak, both the Nigerian Army and the Nigerian Air Force are involved in Operation Deep Punch to flush out the remnant of Boko Haram in the northeast.
One of the tasks given to the military, and in particular the Nigerian Army, apart from defeating the Boko Haram terrorists, were also to rescue all the abducted persons, including the Chibok girls, and also ensure the restoration of civil authority in those areas that were liberated.
Baga, Nigeria's gateway to Chad Basin communities, a fishing town. In the past, not so distant past, Baga was a safe and convenient border town for international business. But between 2013 and 2015, it developed a reputation of insecurity. Its populace became prey, maimed and killed by Boko Haram. Now there is a sweet story to tell. The unhappy memories are gone. Baga is back to business and the security is visible. Like other areas liberated from Boko Haram, normal life picked up in Baga. The people smile, once more becoming humans again.
Amma babba abin da yake ci mana tuwa kwanya na yin butar kifi wannan kifi da baya fita ya daga hankalin kowa.
This is Baga Market in the town of Baga. People here have safely returned and they are living peacefully. It will recall that in 2015, precisely January 3rd to January 7th, the people here have been attacked by insurgents. Many have died, but the survivors have returned and they are now living comfortably. The Nigerian military have assured them of adequate security.
We are still the local authority in monitoring the people coming in and out of Baga, and our area of responsibility in general. Then we also conduct what we call a clearing operation to suspected Boko Haram areas where we feel that they intend to attack.
Most of these areas have security presence, and other areas are dominated with regular armed mobile patrols, as seen in Maiduguri, Mafa, Dikwa, Monkuno, Gamborogala, Damasak, and so many other areas.
In the ancient city of Maiduguri, the epicenter of the crisis, a visitor will be masked of what has happened unless he looks deeper. Security, peace and hope replaced despair. Trust, which became a scarce commodity in the heat of the insecurity, is gradually resettling. Suburbs like Munagarage, where children are turned potential suicide bombers, reclaim their pristine for the daily living of the common man. Before this time, a gathering like this one was not possible. It could be a potential target for Boko Haram to strike.
For now, situation is a little bit calm, because the most dangerous access where Boko Haram used to come in and detonate their bomb is along our road here, Demboa Road and Malay axis, which links to Zambiza. But now the strategy that we have taken there with the civilian JTF and the military, now they have turned to Muna axis towards university. And now the military and the civilian JTF are working hand in hand to see that the strategy we have taken there at the other side to be applied at that zone. So I think for now, the suicide bomb is a little bit calm. It's not like before. Now they are not even having a chance to move into the crowd place like market and some mosques.
The other security agencies, especially the police, need to be firm on the ground to see that they relieve us of some of the law and order responsibilities or some of the internal security challenges, responsibilities that we've been taking or conducting in some major towns. This will relieve us to move in to the hinterland to continue to pursue the remnants of the Boko Haram terrorists.
The might of Nigerian military in this change era has brought about innovative ways in engaging troops, as well as encourage them to channel their skills into productive ventures.
So much has changed in terms of capacity, so much has changed in terms of skills and training. And that is because of the enabling environment that the President and Commander-in-Chief has created is making it much easier for us to really function.
The present administration is very confident that, given the right push, the Air Force will turn a new leaf.
We've been able on our own to reactivate 11 aircrafts. And these aircraft were not flying prior to this time, but they are now flying. Some of them are involved in rescuing lives, especially the Mi-17, for instance, that is everywhere in the Northeast, rescuing wounded soldiers, distributing supplies, and so on, and also going into offensive operations.
Within 2 years of the Buhari administration, much has been achieved, particularly on capacity building, to bring out more of a determined Nigerian Air Force, armed with the requisite skills to carry out all sorts of air operations for the relative security, peace and stability in Nigeria.
We are currently working on 2 again, which I believe we have gone far. We are just waiting for some of the components to come from abroad. As soon as we get these components together, that will make the number of reactivated airplanes to 13. In addition to that, you talked about the ones that were handed over to us by the President and Commander-in-Chief, which we have deployed. He has participated actively in Maiduguri, Yola. We have just inducted 2 Mi-35M helicopters.
To consolidate on its premium commitment to security, the present government acquired 2 of these modern combat helicopters. The Mi-35 modern attack helicopter can destroy ground-based armored targets. It can provide air support for ground mission. It operates perfectly at night, high temperature and mountainous terrains.
The C-1000 in the past was like an area, a no-go area for junior officers. It's usually very senior people, air commodores. Hardly do you see a group captain flying C-130. But today, we have flying officers. If you see the size of those boys and you look at the size of the aircraft, you begin to wonder whether they will be able to actually carry the aircraft.
As such, the Air Force Chief anticipates the renewed interest among airmen, airwomen, other ranks and officers buoyed up by capacity building and training.
We have increased tempo even in the training. In the ground training especially, in the past we were training 500 recruits per 6 months. Now we're training over 2,000 per 6 months, trying to increase capacity. We have opened new bases, trying to have manpower that will man those bases. So in that regard, we have increased our training capacity. In the primary flying training school itself, we have 2 streams of training, one on the Super Mushak and one on the Diamond, going parallelly.
Today, decent accommodation is not a problem to new entrants and others in the service, including those retiring. The response is proactive. There are deliberate steps to strategically put in place vibrant institutions in this branch of the Nigerian military.
Induction of the Super Mushak aircraft. Itato were using the Diamond 40 aircraft for ab initio flying training. But because of the limitation of the Diamond 40 and the demand in the field, there is need to induct this airplane for us to train more pilots so that we can fit the field. And to that extent, it has greatly improved our capacity to train pilots. And so we are able to accommodate more pilots than we did before. Initially, we had a runway whose surface was undulating, not too suitable for ab initio flying training. And this current administration resurfaced the runway entirely and increased even the length, thereby giving us the latitude to conduct training activities with high degree of safety, and you'll be able to teach student pilots conveniently on the runway, touching down maybe about 2-3 times before you get airborne.
In the last 2 years, we have witnessed a remarkable improvement in aircraft serviceability. Well, I would say that we have attended up to, if not more, than 75% serviceability of the aircraft in our inventory. Compared to what we used to have in the past, most of our aircraft are serviceable.
The Chief of Air Staff, Air Marshal S.B. Abubakar, has given an unprecedented attention to research and development. He has encouraged innovative approaches to issues and out-of-the-box thinking. And so for this one, he wanted us to come up with a platform that is very cost-effective, that we can use for things like anti-banditry, anti-cattle rustling, anti-kidnapping, and general patrols.
Highly determined Nigerian Air Force is ever ready for air operations within and outside Nigeria. The fleet well stocked for all kinds of offensives against enemy of the Nigerian state. From an array of modern warplanes acquired by this administration to the establishment of a gas plant for efficiency and reliability, leaves no one in doubt that Nigeria is unleashing its powers to defend itself from the enemy within and outside.
2 years ago when we commenced, we didn't have this number of platforms. As of today, you can see an array of platforms. You have the Alpha Jet, you have the F7, we have the new baby now to the Air Force, the Mi-35M, we have the ISR. The number that we have now, it's 10 times what we had when we started. So drawing from that lesson, the future is bright.
Apart from providing enough oxygen to sustain Nigerian Force operations, these plants can also provide oxygen that we can use to assist our communities and others that require it, especially the health sector, where liquid oxygen, where gaseous oxygen is required for the different procedures they carry out.
Galvanizing on its clear mission for the entrenched coexistence, peace and stability, Nigerian military believes an interface with the civil community can break grounds for better understanding and improved security. The forces therefore render humanitarian services for the victims of violence in particular and the host communities.
Alhamdulillah,
and this is one of the things too that people appreciate more. The way they care too for the patients. They carried my baby. No, it's not easy. It's not one person's work. But when they helped me, I was so happy.
Water, the Nigeria's economic lifeline. In it lie the nation's oil resources. Its security, therefore, is of great symbolic impact to the economy and well-being of this nation. The Buhari administration placed highest premium on maritime security in the Gulf of Guinea. This offshore patrol vessel, Nigerian Navy ship Unity, is purposely for policing against piracy, pipeline vandalism, and illegal oil bunkering.
The prevailing situation is not new given the intimate connections between economic prosperity and security for a littoral state with huge dependence on her offshore resources. Maritime security is vital to the nation's well-being.
The Nigerian Navy before now did have very limited capabilities, to contain the challenges we have in the brown waters, that's in the rivers and creeks that make up the estuaries. By the end of 2016, we were able to induct not less than 120 gunboats. And these assets, together with the surveillance capabilities that we acquired, had been able to assist the Navy to contain most of the challenges we have.
NS Unity is not just restricted to Nigerian operations. I can tell you that NS Unity was a ship that participated in the Operation Restore Democracy in the Gambia. That's the ECOMIG operation. And it was adjudged, it was successful, and we came back. And even on our way back, the ship participated in a joint exercise with the Ghanaian Navy, codenamed Exercise Yonkopa. And with doing that, it has helped in promoting the jointness between the navies of the West African countries, as well as concretizing the relationship between the West African nations.
Critical area of Naval Forces operation is the creeks in the Niger Delta. This time, from dusk to dawn, dawn to dusk, patrols are carried out. Polluted, this environment is in danger. oily mud with tenacious gravity, making movement very difficult. But the Naval Forces jackboot contend with the environment. Results lead to significant discoveries of unsuspecting hideouts of illegal oil business sites.
Now from the abandoned wellhead, they normally connect pipes and pump the crude down to the storage tank. And from the storage tank, they have pipes that will lead to the illegal refineries where they cook the product.
Of this time, naval forces in Nigeria are engaged in a better perspective on maritime security, including protection of the environment. If legal bunkering like this is found, the destruction is carefully executed in such a way that the ecosystem remains in its pristine.
We work tirelessly day and night to put an end to this. We patrol and conduct our operations not only by day. At night, we are also out there to make sure that the message out there is clear. That we cannot continue to allow this kind of illegality to thrive in the environment.
The concern of the Buhari administration is that the environment in the Niger Delta mangrove swamp forest be adequately protected.
The damage that is being done to the environment, especially in the Niger Delta area, through the illegal actions of refining petroleum products out there. The effect might not be felt now, but if we recall that the Ogoni environmental pollutions took place some 30 years ago, and we're just addressing the issues now, the consequences on health and the environment are something that we need to take seriously.
Hence, the use of swamp excavators to evacuate illegal oil facilities and storage. Big arrests like this oil cargo suspected to be shoddy deal has been made. But much from the community is greatly expected to tame the tide of illegal oil bunkering. People of Naifo Island, Warri South, have sincerely realized their responsibility.
Whatever that they need from us, whatever information they need from us, we do give them. We are not hiding anybody, we are not hiding any culprits. When we make sure we bring out every culprit to the Nigerian Navy, even Nigerian Navy has successfully taken some culprits away from this place down to the police.
Indeed, the promise is delivered.
The security situation has calmed down a little bit. We should give credit to the administration for that.
Security and defense have been improved and revolutionized in the 2 years of the Buhari administration.
I'm quite confident that the Nigerian armed forces have been amply repositioned more than ever before to confront contemporary and emerging security challenges in the country.